Hello Addams Family fans, and welcome back to Nerd Doc. In this video, we're going to cover the ending of the Wednesday series on Netflix, as well as when we expect a potential season 2, and some basic plot theories the next season could follow. Of course, that means there will be Wednesday spoilers in this video. This is your spoiler warning. There are chapter timestamps so you can jump around the video, and if you have any questions or we missed anything, feel free to leave a comment below. Wednesday primarily focuses on a series of murders that take place in and around the Nevermore Academy and neighboring town of Jericho. Nevermore was founded in 1791 as a school for outcasts, freaks, and monsters, with Edgar Allan Poe as one of its most famous alumni, although Gomez and Morticia Addams both attended, along with Cousin It, whose only appearance in the first season was a portrait showing he's a Nevermore alumni. There's a creature, known as the Hyde, a reference to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that's going around killing people in the area of Nevermore. The Hyde is a human that transforms into a giant monster, similar to a werewolf transforming into a wolf, or a vampire transforming into a bat. The Hyde is killing people and taking specific body parts from each victim, such as a head or a foot. A Hyde can be controlled by the person who first turns them. This is what happens in the Wednesday series with Marilyn Thornhill, Christina Ricci's character. For you youngins who may not know, Ricci played Wednesday Addams in the 90s movies The Addams Family and The Addams Family Values. Now, Marilyn Thornhill is actually Laurel Gates, a descendant of Joseph Crackstone, who was one of the original Pilgrim founders of the town of Jericho. Like most Pilgrims, Joseph was racist, sexist, and all of that, and he wanted to kill all of the outcasts back in the late 1700s. Wednesday's ancestor, Goody Addams, escaped Joseph's wrath when he burned all the other outcasts, including her mother. She eventually got her revenge by stabbing Joseph to death, then cursing his soul. Goody was skilled in various supernatural arts and a witch of great strength. She sealed Crackstone away using a bloodlock in hopes that no one would ever be able to resurrect him. A bloodlock simply means that only someone who shares Goody's blood can break the seal and allow Crackstone to be resurrected. Laurel's whole family died trying to follow in the racist, sexist footsteps of Crackstone, but she had a different plan. Laurel studied the supernatural and used Goody Addams' Book of Shadows to learn how to resurrect Crackstone. Laurel's father was very influential in the town of Jericho and had told her about the Galpin family. This is how she knew that Tyler's mother was a Hyde, just like Tyler. Laurel used this information and her knowledge of the supernatural and botany in order to force Tyler's transformation into a Hyde Monster and educate him about his mother. This is something that he longed to know about, but his father refused to discuss it with him. This need to know about his mother and the information about the Hyde Monster created a bond between Laurel and Tyler, and over time, this allowed Laurel to control Tyler completely. Tyler in his Hyde form collected all the body parts Laurel needed according to Goody's Book of Shadows. All that remained was kidnapping Wednesday during the night of the blood moon so Laurel could perform the resurrection ritual. Everything goes according to Laurel's plan, but she didn't take into account Wednesday's psychic ability that was passed down from her mother. This allowed Wednesday to form a psychic bond with her deceased ancestor Goody. When Laurel succeeded in resurrecting Crackstone, he immediately mistook Wednesday for Goody and exacted his revenge by stabbing her. Luckily, Goody being the powerful witch that she was able to essentially merge her spirit with Wednesday, healing Wednesday's wounds and preventing her death. This is something that could play a role in Season 2, but we'll get to that in a moment. Crackstone immediately continued his mission to kill all the outcasts by heading to Nevermore and using his own undead magic to burn the school down. While Laurel did try to stand by his side, like a good pilgrim, Crackstone rejected her as she was no longer useful. Pilgrims did not think very highly of women, which is one of the reasons why Crackstone wanted nothing to do with Laurel, despite the fact that she just resurrected him. Wednesday is able to kill Crackstone again, thanks to some advice from Goody as to where to stab him, as well as some help from her fellow Nevermore students. The season ends with Wednesday finishing her novel with the end and a question mark. This is a direct tease for Season 2. So will there be a Season 2? When will it release? And what should we expect from it? The creators of the Wednesday series have already stated that they've been discussing more seasons, saying there's definitely more to explore in the world of the Addamses. Given the popularity of the show, even before it was released on Netflix, it's safe to assume there will at least be a second season, although nothing is officially confirmed as of November 2022. The first season took about 6 months to film, and just over a year from the first day of filming to the final release on Netflix. Expect a second season to be greenlit by Netflix sometime in the next 3 or 4 months following the release of the first season, and possibly much sooner than that. But filming likely won't begin until at least next summer, meaning the second season likely won't arrive until sometime in 2024. Given the spooky nature of the show, Netflix will probably aim to have a second season released around the end of the year, so late 2024 is likely, even if the show happens to be ready a bit earlier in the year. When it comes to potential Season 2 plot theories, first off, it's important to note that Laurel is still alive, we see Tyler escape near the end of the final episode, and Nevermore is in need of a new headmaster. Wednesday will still use her psychic ability to solve some sort of mystery, and her powers could be improved if they run with the plot thread of Goody merging her spirit with Wednesday. It's very likely some or all of these things will play a role in Season 2, which will probably see one main antagonist facing off against the outcasts, and that antagonist will likely be connected to Laurel and Tyler in some way. Perhaps this is the person who first pointed Laurel toward the supernatural. Wednesday receives a series of text messages at the very end of the first season, confirming that there's someone else out there who's been stalking her and wants her dead. Wednesday mentions that this forced vacation will be more interesting than she originally imagined, referring to the extended break caused by the rest of the semester at Nevermore being cancelled. While this could mean that Season 2 doesn't take place at Nevermore at all, if that were the case, you would lose all the students and supporting cast, so that seems unlikely unless there's some sort of summer camp with some of the Nevermore students. But even then you start to copy the Addams Family Values movie a bit, so that seems unlikely. While Season 2 may start before Wednesday heads back to Nevermore, expect most of the season to still take place at the school, or at least have several of her Nevermore classmates involved in the second season. Think of Nevermore like you would Hogwarts in the Harry Potter series, serving as a central location no matter what story is being told. We saw most of the Addams family in the first season, but Uncle Fester was only featured in one episode, Cousin It was only seen as a portrait, and we didn't see Grandmama or any of the Frumps at all. The new headmaster of Nevermore will likely be a brand new character, but don't be surprised if it actually turns out to be Cousin It or one of the Frumps instead. Even if that's not the case, expect Cousin It to be front and center for Season 2, getting more screen time than Uncle Fester had in the first season. An easy plot thread would be to have Pugsley start attending Nevermore as well, giving him much more presence in the show. Of course, if the second season takes place away from Nevermore, you could see Uncle Fester and Cousin It get more involved as well, helping Wednesday battle against her mysterious stalker since she may not have her Nevermore friends to assist in that scenario. So what did you think of the Wednesday series on Netflix? Was it Addams Family enough for you? Did you miss Cousin It and Grandmama? And what are you expecting from the plot of Season 2? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For now, that wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves the Addams Family.